Hold up. Bounce. Yo.
DJ Big T.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold up. I woke up, got out my bed. It's sunny day. Brush my teeth, clean my skin, love my face. Ain't got time for all that stressing. I'm receiving all my blessings. About to love and hug myself, cause I got time today. Whatever happened yesterday, guess what? Ain't worried about it. On my masterpiece today, you know I'm about it. On my masterpiece today, you know I'm about it. On my masterpiece today, on my masterpiece today, on my masterpiece today, about it. Stress, bills, got no shield, problem, face on my face, I'm bounce, like mad at me, because I chose to love myself, yes, I am proud of me. Not where I'm trying to go just yet, but I'm about to be. Not where I'm trying to go just yet, but I'm about to be. Not where I'm trying to go just yet, but I'm about to be. Now put your hands up in the sky and be thankful you still here and stop asking them why. Got it. Know I got it, but I got it. Ain't nobody on this earth gonna ever come and stop it. From the country south, got something to say. Spun a big boy with 3K. They let me bounce out my shoulder pop. Bounce your shoulder, feel the vibe. I ain't stressing today, yo. I ain't stressing today, you negative, but I ain't got time. I ain't stressing today, yo. I ain't stressing today, peace and love is on my mind. I ain't stressing today, hold up. I ain't stressing today, I'ma tell you one more time. I ain't stressing today, yeah. I ain't stressing today, Watch my whip today, I buffed it up good with the Chevy. Feeling good, think I might just pull up on my granny. We watch that Wheel of Fortune while we eat that church chicken. She tell me that she been thinking one day I'm gonna win a Grammy. I say now shout out to my barber, that boy on a mission. Got my line so crispy when I talk they pay attention. I'm about to show you what. Let's pull up through my neighborhood. You said my partner tried to holler, boy, I wish he would. You know what? I ain't even much tripping. I'm confident in me, so can't nobody catch me slipping. I'm confident in me, so can't nobody catch me slipping. I'm confident in me, so can't nobody catch me slipping. Don't call me on FaceTime, I be really texting. Try to love her for myself, I'ma send me a message. Please don't hit my line if all you got to do is slide. It don't matter, I ain't gonna check, I'ma be busy flexing. Bounce your shoulder, feel the vibe. I ain't stressing today, yo. I ain't stressing today, You negative, but I ain't got time. I ain't stressing today, yo. I ain't stressing today, Peace and love is on my mind. I ain't stressing today, yeah. I ain't stressing today, I'ma tell you one more time. I ain't stressing today, yeah. I ain't stressing today, Hey, hold up. Why you mad at everybody out there? Did you plug yourself today? Yo, I ain't stressing today. I ain't stressing today. Yo. You got somebody who getting on your nerves, trying to ruin your day. Here's what you tell them. Yo, I ain't stressing today. I ain't stressing today. Yo, this size.
I ain't stressing today.
Drink some, bitch. Yeah. It's a fucking.
Okay, we ain't doing all that. We ain't doing all that this morning. What's going on, people? I see you in the chat. I appreciate you. Excuse me. I know people are working and whatnot, but I have a few minutes and I want to talk about what happened on SWV the SWV XSCAPE Queens of R&B reality show last night.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Loving this light. Here's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Peace, world peace. Welcome or welcome back. It's Goddess Dawn Speaks. I'm Goddess Dawn, aka the $1 trillion goddess, baby. It's a mindset. Yeah. I don't have the patience to do a 20-minute intro and wait for people to see that I'm live. It's all good. If you're in the replay, I appreciate you for catching me after the fact. Come in the comments and let me know you stopped by. And I see you, Michelle Hurd and Chrissy Power. You holding it down for me today, Queens. I appreciate you so much. Yes. All right. So shout out to Wild Wayne. I know he is in a appointment or whatever at this moment, but I do want to shout him out and let him know we're thinking about him. So I wanted to get into what happened on last night's show, but real quick, I just want to talk about what's going on in the world in these headlines, child. Now, hold on, let me get rid of this. All these damn ads. All right. So one of the things going on, as you may well know, I hope you know, that your boy Trump, and we're talking U.S. President number 45, has been indicted, child. He's going to be arraigned tomorrow. And it looks like they got him on camera departing Mar-a-Lago with his son Eric, heading for New York. His Florida supporters rally around him. But the protesters are also lying in wait, okay? Wait till tomorrow. This is crazy. This is the first U.S. president, I believe, that has been indicted. So, Trump, as always, is making history. And tomorrow's going to be crazy when this thing goes down. It says former President Donald Trump left his Mar-a-Lago home just after midday Monday to fly to New York. The first step in a legal odyssey that will include his arrest and court appearance a day later. It will make Trump the first former U.S. president to face criminal charges when he is arraigned, fingerprinted, and photographed at the downtown Manhattan courthouse. In a Truth Social post, and that's his version of Twitter that he created, on the eve of his departure, he confirmed the arrangement, saying he will fly out at noon and stay at Trump Tower on Monday evening. Ooh-wee. All right, what else is going on? Let's see. Bullied New Jersey schoolgirl 11 hanged herself in school bathroom as her mom accuses school of sweeping it under the rug, just like Adriana Kuch's death just days before. What is going on with these children in these schools? So are they saying that it's actually a cover up and something else happened to her? Someone else did this? Let me see this. Felicia Loalvo Melendez, 11, was unconsciously hanging in a closed stall at F.W. Holbein School when she was found by another middle school student on February 6 around 1 p.m. She unalived 2 days later at a local hospital. Officials battled to save the sixth grader's life, but she was later pronounced unalive by complications of suicide. Wow. One surveillance footage proved that she was alone in the restroom when she passed away. No foul play was involved, it says. Her mother has since revealed that she was being bullied and is requesting tapes to confirm her daughter's cause of unaliveness. Only a few days before, Felicia had buried her father, New Jersey detective Alexis Melendez, who died of pancreatic cancer on January 26. Oh, wow. This is unbearable for the mother, I'm sure, having lost her daughter's father, as well as now this happening to her daughter, which is, I would definitely be doing as she is doing and pressing further for the facts, because what 11-year-old girl, and she's a beautiful little girl. She just took her. They say she took her life. It's horrible. Thank you, Michelle. Oh yes, send the babies love. Yeah, we got to protect the children. We're talking not just physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. We got to be checking in with the children, having conversations. I mean, a lot of people, I think, just treat children like, a piece of furniture, keeping them busy, probably giving them an iPad and just letting them do that, and, give them food, make sure they brush their teeth and take a bath or whatever. But there's no engagement, no interaction, no checking in. I'm just praying for the world at this point. So what else? Let's see what they're talking about. Let me go down here. Okay, America's most inbred family tree, how West Virginia's barking and grunting Whitakers started with identical brothers whose kids married each other. Okay, wow. Oh, wow. Look at the pictures of the inbreds. So this now infamous Whitaker family grew up in a broken down property in Odd, West Virginia, and have been known to communicate through grunts and barks. Daily Mail says they can reveal that a set of twin brothers sparked the family's history of incest, with the children of Henry and John Whitaker getting married and having their first child in 1937. Filmmaker Mark Leda shone a spotlight on the family in a short documentary, with some of them struggling with mental and physical abnormalities. One member of the family, Ray, appears to suffer the most and communicates with Leda through noises rather than words, and points to show items on the property. In April last year, he revisited the Whitaker family, who he first met in 2004 and filmed in 2020, and spoke about it on the channel. Leda says that the genetic complications of the family have caused a host of behavioral issues, describing it as out of control. The first time he approached them was early in the 2000s, when he was initially met by protective neighbors with a shotgun. West Virginia, y'all. West Virginia. If you don't know, they are probably the biggest Trump supporters on earth. Okay, so that's crazy. I'm just reading these headlines real quick. How Trump stay in court, how ex-president will arrive in Manhattan. So they're going to go into details about his route and all of that. Great. I'm glad I don't live in Manhattan. I know it's going to be a mess. Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think she's going to be running for president, y'all. Calls Democrats pedos. Claims that Biden support sexualizing children, and criticizes Republicans for not backing Trump when he was president. Of course she's going to do that. I saw something about that China spy balloon. Hold on, let me see. Here it is. Chinese spy balloon did, in all caps, gather intelligence from sensitive U.S. military sites before it was shot down, U.S. intelligence reveals. The Chinese spy balloon that flew across the U.S. in February gathered intelligence from several American military sites before it was shot down, according to two senior U.S. officials and a former senior administration official. A former senior. Sources said China could have gathered more intelligence if not for the Biden administration's efforts to block it. The intel collected was mostly from electronic signals rather than images. I mean, can we say that if he would have acted sooner, maybe they wouldn't have gotten the information? They let that thing float across the skies from Tuesday to Thursday, I believe, that week, or Friday. Like the whole week, basically, this thing was floating across the skies. So now they're coming back to say, oh, yeah, they did gather. So it sounds to me like they want us to mentally prepare for some type of conflict. So they're telling us, yeah, they did collect some information. But thanks to Biden, you know what I'm saying? They stopped it. They nipped it in the bud. Well, not in time. Not in time. Bombshell report exposes the disturbing scale of child abuse in Australia impacting 1 in 4 kids. Oh, that's really sad. A major report in child abuse has produced confronting findings, such as 1 in 4 experiencing child abuse and a noted increase in SA by adolescents known to children. By adolescents. And, you know, it's really sad, but it is true that, you know, the adolescents in the household when they're younger do need to, you know, if they have themselves experienced trauma, then, you know, unfortunately, some may, like an R. Kelly, make the decision to go ahead and pass that trauma on down to the younger kids. So, you know, a lot of times the adolescents are the ones put in charge of babysitting. A lot of times are doing some caretaking while the parent is at work. So if they are indeed themselves hurt, traumatized because of their own abuses, then this thing will continue to get passed on. So this is part of what I talked about, not specifically this, but I did a live yesterday, Shot of Love, talking about generational trauma, generational curses. Just to talk about why these things are going on with the Scott sisters, child. And I'm going to get into that. Oh, wow, Wayne, you made it. Yes, please like, share, and subscribe. Look at the information below after the live. There's things there for you. Hey. So let's talk about what happened last night. I don't know if y'all watched the show. I was able to check it out. It wasn't until the end that we found out what we found out. But let me switch over to TikTok, and I think I can play this. I don't know what, I haven't watched this whole clip, so I don't know how much of it shows, but let's see. Let me refresh the page. TikTok doesn't do that well with, does better on mobile phones, I've noticed. Okay, so, oh, dang. I didn't switch the tab. Hold on. I'm going to play that again. Jeez. I couldn't switch over to check. Okay, so here's the screen. Let me run that back, child. We're going to run that back. So this is the scene from the end of last night's show that was really the bombshell. And that's kind of what I'm focusing on. At this point, the whole SWV versus XSCAPE, who's going to headline, who's going to have the last song, all of that, it's neither here nor there for me when it comes to the whole thing, as you know, as it relates to the thievery. We're going to get down to the thievery. Like, what is going on with this money? All right. So let's let me replay that.
Hey, we gotta get to the nitty gritty. Who wants to start?
Start out with what?
Whatever. One of the promoters that we work with a lot dropped a bomb on us, okay? With receipts. And you know I love a receipt. So I guess a while ago, Tamika had already said that she wanted us all to have a conversation to talk with promoters.
There's a lot of stuff that we found out that was just not right. Yeah.
See, I noticed right away, as soon as they mentioned promoters, Tasha starts scratching her chin. Now she's touching on her eye. She's nervous. She's nervous.
Your husband, he's been dealing with a promoter, and he's been getting a kickback. Ain't nobody been getting no kickback from no promoter to me. Getting a kickback.
So first and foremost, she just flatly denies it, which, I mean, maybe she's used to probably people coming at her with stuff about Rocky. So she immediately just denies because she knows that she's going to stick by him anyway. But she denied it without even asking any questions. Didn't nobody get no kickback with no promoter, Tamika. And she's directly addressing her sister. Watch how she relates to her sister too during this interaction. That tells us another telling thing.
He has not been getting no kickback to me. He's been getting a kickback.
Tamika got paperwork, child. You see that
The
file?
promoter sent copies of the text messages. He sent a copy of one of the payments he made.
Text messages from what? Hold on, everybody's gonna get a copy. We about to have a business meeting. What is this? So y'all believe text messages? No.
She says, so y'all believe text messages? That's the first thing she says. Isn't that weird to say? To me, it is. That's what you gonna say? I would be still looking at the documentation because the text messages, there's a lot there. She's not even looking at it because she already knows. She already knows her husband. She already told us that she knows everything as the wife. I know everything. That's what she told us. Okay.
So the text message between Rocky and the promoter. That's how iPhone text looks.
Okay. Says we still good on our deal. What is this talking about? For these 5 shows, I explained to my wife that you were my guy.
Boom. So he's texting. So Rocky and the promoter are texting back and forth. And, you know, if you can see the screen when they show the text, there's a lot of communication there. And there are a lot of specifics mentioned, names. So him saying, I explained to my wife that you were my guy, that's already letting us know he's conversing with Tasha, which is not surprising.
So can you shoot me 20K? I just showed her you already sent me 10K.
I will look out for you, but I need all 4 ladies. That's from the promoter. Basically, Rocky was working with the promoter for Tasha to get us on board to agree to do that promoter shows. And in turn, he was giving Rocky a kickback or an extra fee on top of whatever he was paying us. And Rocky replies, I'm with you. That's why I'm showing her that you got me, because she is the one who is going to make all them listen.
Boom. She's going to make all of them listen. So the promoter apparently at this point, when the promoter and Rocky were communicating, it was when Candy was not performing with them. And they were, I believe, XSCAPE 3. But the promoter wanted all 4 members. And so Rocky was basically saying that my wife is going to make that happen. She's going to make them listen. So it was then on to Tasha to convince Candy, her enemy, mind you. Her and Candy never got along. I have another clip I'm going to play about us learning that they've actually had fist fights. Okay. So she and Candy never got along, but all of a sudden she's going to start calling Candy to bring her back in and trying to convince the group that they should bring Candy back in, even though the reason Candy wasn't there is because she was busy, booked and busy. Okay. So Candy didn't need to do it. The girls said Tiny let us know last night that they liked performing without Candy because they got more money. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no drama because nobody was fighting. Basically, because Tasha had Tamika, both Tamikas, Tiny and her sister Tamika, under her foot. Okay. Anyway, so let me just play some more of this.
And you guys are trying to say that these screenshots came from Rocky and the guy. Yeah, it's his number. It's his number. Yeah, but this makes no sense whatsoever. Proof. He ain't got no reason to lie. He ain't got no reason to lie.
I shouldn't have to worry about kickback within our own.
So basically, are you saying that I've done that?
But that's your husband.
Yeah, but
see, this is what. Are you saying that I've done that? So you're not even. So okay, let's. As the wife in this situation, and you're finding out your group members are basically confronting you with proof that your husband has been getting kickbacks, as well as having you in the loop, you know, on the whole thing. And you want to say, well, you think I've been doing. She didn't even defend. She's not even saying, well, there's got to be something here. Let's look at everything. Let me talk. Let's bring him into the conversation. She's not being open about it. She's just deflecting. But wow,
I haven't done that.
But y'all are one, and the text says that he's speaking with you about it.
Here's the thing: any money that's going out should be laid on the table. Everybody should know about it.
Every dime.
I think that's where all the issue lies.
At the end of the day, you believe that these are the screenshots from my husband to the guy. It's his phone number. Okay. Right. Hey.
Okay, so that's how they left us. That's how it ended last night. Let me see. And Jason Finch, are you really coming in here to scream about how innocent R. Kelly is and how he's coming home? You don't have nothing to do this morning to bug us? Because you know we know that's not true. You want to get your feelings hurt this morning or this afternoon? My bad. Come on, Jason Finch. So back to the ladies here. Okay, so child, let me say this. Rocky put himself in a position from jump. From jump. Let me find another visual here for us. Let me see some of these comments. She always acting like Blue's Clues. Both Rocky and LaTocha have sticky fingers. LaTocha loves making them confused faces. It's frustrating how LaTocha tries to act like she's so clueless. She's never surprised or upset. See what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. She's not like, what the fuck? I would be like livid. Like, can you imagine if you had no idea, you were blindsided with this, and you know your husband, you know that man be doing stuff like that. So when you see the proof of it, it should automatically connect. You know what I'm saying? And there is no anger. And the fact that she's still with this man after all this time. Now she's saying that they're in an open relationship when he gets exposed for cheating. Matter of fact, I think Tasha K's video, I think I saw a preview of it, is coming up with the full video of the mistress and then the other accusers or the other supposedly side women that he's been messing with. But now because she's being bombarded with these things in real life, she's saying we're in an open marriage. I know about everything that goes on because she doesn't want to look stupid. So instead, but what she doesn't realize is that she looks even dumber, even more stupid by claiming to know everything the man does. By claiming that, you're claiming to, be culpable right along with him. You might as well just say you did everything with him too. She's let's see. So y'all believe the written evidence right in y'all face with a laughing emoji. Exactly. And that reminds me too of, if y'all members are listening, I have a member channel live scheduled for tomorrow, but I might change it to later today, depending on how my day goes. Or tonight. But basically, it's about, what's going on in these YouTube streets as far as this R. Kelly sector, and the fact that they just won't cool off. Once you think things have subsided, then boom, here comes more stuff. And right now, there's a lot of salacious but treacherous things that have gone on and being outed and exposed right now. And the funny thing to me is that, like, when people get exposed, and then, with that exposure comes the proof. People have receipts. There are receipts. Matter of fact, most of the proof is from the person. The person who's being exposed, they make videos, they're caught, they have text messages and all these things. And when they get exposed, they want to come back to say it's a lie, or, that person who is exposing them can't be trusted, but it's right there. So for me, it's not even the person that's trying to cover themselves up and say, oh, that's not true, and that person's a liar, how can you trust them? It's the people who listen to them. It is the people who support them. That to me is where the problem lies, because that's the gaslighting. That's the continuing to fan the flames, just because I think most of it is for the sake of the drama. You know what I'm saying? They picked a side, and they want to see the blood. But it's just really messed up. But it reminds me of this because LaTocha has all this proof. His phone number is right there on the paper, child. Names are mentioned, his name, the guy's name. And this is the same promoter that she already knows they have some type of problem with. I think they said this is the same promoter that was accused of threatening, or Rocky was accused of threatening. So the promoter said he didn't want to work with XSCAPE anymore. And when all this happened, XSCAPE, the group, didn't know. The other ladies, they had no idea about any of this. So when the promoter was said to not be wanting to work with them, or whatever the case, they didn't know why. Now it turns out because Rocky was behind the scenes, just taking advantage really of his wife's group, and his wife and his wife's group. You know what I'm saying? That is, I don't know whose husband you're asking about, Jason, but we're talking about LaTocha Scott, her husband, Rocky Bivens. Her husband, Rocky, was your boy R. Kelly's like right-hand guy. And he turned on your boy, R. Kelly. That's why he's still out here living his life. But it looks like to me, he might himself end up getting some charges behind this, because this is some real, if he literally, got money off of XSCAPE'S name, side deals and all of that. Like, Candy goes further on her, what is it called? Speak on It, that she has on her YouTube channel. Her and Tiny were on there. And that's where I got Tiny. And what did Tiny say? That? Oh, well, so Tiny was on there. Let me just bring that up real quick. Tiny was on there, and she said something like, she forgot. She speaks to him and forgets that she's supposed to be mad at him. And the reason is because, and this is what I believe, people who do the things similar to what people are being accused of, liars, cheaters, pedos, things like that. When people get accused and exposed, they're uncomfortable because they feel like I'm being exposed too. Like it's closer to them being exposed as well. So they defend. And Tiny said that she ain't ever really had no problem with Rocky. And that, when she would see him, she would forget that this stuff had happened and speak to him. And, I forgot I was supposed to be mad at him. She ain't really mad because she don't really care, because she knows she do stuff too. So, and I'm not saying she's a thief or anything like that. I'm just saying people with behavior that they don't want called out. They don't want to call other people out either. That's why people don't like calling people out, because they feel like, well, if I don't call people out, I'm not going to get called out. That's why people who, like somebody on this YouTube with this channel, they say they're neutral in this R. Kelly thing. They're not neutral, but they just don't want to pick a side, or they don't want to really speak on what's true, because they themselves, okay, are scandalous people, trifling, no good, dirty, down low, dirty, like just disgusting. There's some disgusting people on YouTube running channels, and people support, and this stuff is public stuff. It's not like it's a rumor. Like, we've seen the receipts on a lot of this stuff. And the fact that when they go back and forth with each other, that's when you see real dirt. That's when the dirt really comes out. They tell on themselves, even on these community walls. There's people fighting back and forth on this in this thing. I'm gonna talk about it. But yeah, they're on their community walls just exposing how ridiculous of a life that they're living right now to be engaging in this type of stuff. It's crazy, but it's entertaining, I have to say. You know, so let me pull up Speak on it. Candy, honey. Okay, of course I'm not gonna play this because I don't know if Candy, I don't know how she play on YouTube. But they did, I didn't watch all of that. Here I go, not remembering to hold on. I didn't listen to their whole thing because I'm only interested in this whole thing with Rocky and LaTocha and this money that they've taken, not only from now her sister, but the group as a whole. So from what I know, this thing filmed back in June of last year, June of 2022, they filmed this. Since then, I believe since last October, Candy, Tiny, and Tamika Scott have been touring together and doing shows as a three-person group. LaTocha, I believe, has been probably quiet about it and accepting of it because in her mind, she's like, well, I have this Motown deal, which she used the reality show to leverage. Mind you, it's 20 years since, however long they haven't been a group, but she hasn't done anything. She hasn't made one noise, not one ripple in the lake, nothing. So the fact that they have the show that's going to be airing, they probably were able to use that to get her that Motown deal. But unfortunately, once the show has aired, Motown ain't trying to have that on their roster. Child, they were saying that there was a huge gospel gospel music event. I think the night that her album was released or somewhere around that, which was, I believe, last Good Friday. She wasn't invited. They said she was nowhere to be seen. So that says to me that, this whole thing backfired on LaTocha and Rocky, and not only backfired, but has just exploded in their faces. And, if LaTocha was smart, she would separate herself from from Rocky as much as possible. At this point, she needs to file for divorce. She needs to get rid of him and all the stink that is surrounding him and attached to him. It's probably still going to be attached to her and around her because she is also, been with him for so long and she's been a part of some of the stuff. So, I can't see her just getting away just scot-free and not saying, no pun intended. But I'm just saying that she needs to do something other than coming and crying with fake apologies or disingenuous apologies and things like that. That's not working. Nobody's buying that, and it actually makes you look worse. So again, I believe a lot of this stuff stems from the mother. I'm never going to let go of that. The mother has shown us when she went behind her daughter's back, when she went behind Tamika's back and told LaTocha, whispered that she's jealous of you, basically. That told me right there that the mother is the problem. So that's that's why I felt the need to talk about generational curses and generational trauma yesterday on Shot of Love. Make sure you go check that out. It's about a 20-minute video. But anyway, so last night was the show. It was the of this show. So I don't even know. Do they even do a show? At the end of the day, her SWV and Escape. I'm not sure, but the final episode, is next week, and it looks like I'm ready to see if they're gonna actually have a conversation with Rocky and maybe even the mom too about all of this. Like, this needs to be aired out, or they need to have a reunion show. If they don't address it in the actual show, they need to have a reunion show. And according to Kandi, they have a lot more footage. Maybe they need to put together a season 2 and give us some updates, because this is crazy to bring this to the public and not give us closure on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand it might be still being played out, but we need to know. So before I go, I want to show what I have found about what Tiny said about them fighting, child. These girls done threw hands. Okay, so this is what is this called? Cheat sheet, Showbiz cheat sheet. This is from 2020, November of 2020. Tiny sat down and talked to these people. It says Tiny reveals Kandi Burruss fought her and LaTocha Scott during Xscape fallout. So let me go down to, they talk about the history of Xscape. We don't need to go through all of that. Let's see, turmoil. Let's see, Xscape broke up in 1998. Okay, so they broke up way back in 1998. And from what I understand, they've only started doing shows again as of 6 years ago. Okay, so it says turmoil hit the group by the time their third album dropped and Xscape called it quits. Members of Quartet and their team, including Dupree, have cited multiple reasons for the group's split, but things did not end on amicable terms for everyone. Bad blood between Burruss and Tamika Scott brewed when Scott allegedly spread rumors about Burruss sleeping her way to the top. And she did that. Tamika, they're talking about, said that about Kandi because she was basically siding and protecting with her sister LaTocha. LaTocha and Kandi were, I guess, beefing about who wanted to go solo. Kandi wanted her to, that was, as far as Kandi was concerned, I don't think she cared. She just didn't want her to leave the group. But anyway, so they never got along. That's what they said. And I think it was because Kandi was outspoken. Kandi is the youngest one, I think. One of the youngest, or one of the younger two. But she's younger than LaTocha. And I believe LaTocha's used to everybody doing what she said. Like, here's a scene from when they had they had a reality show years ago called Still Kicking It. And Kandi confronts, it says, LaTocha about her solo project. Let me see what this says. Okay. Time about being the Pips. Hey Queen, hey Peach. Happy Monday, y'all. Yeah, I'm just talking about last night's episode. I don't know if y'all caught it. I already played a clip from the end of the show where it was exposed that Rocky and I think LaTocha has been in cahoots too, but they've been basically getting side deals from promising promoters about Xscape performances that some of them never happened. So this is just me showing y'all that, back when they had their other talk show the reality show, Kandi and LaTocha being she says she ain't the reason, child. Okay, so Tiny says Kandi fought her and LaTocha in the past, okay? Now, Tiny recently sat down and says this is an interview she had with DJ Vlad. And she talked about her career, family, sharing stories, blah, 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 about Xscape and what went wrong. She explained that leading up to their long-standing rift, egos played a role in pulling them apart, as did outside influences. The energy shifted, and she said it became a drag to show up for work. When she was asked about fights, she said they only had 2 real ones. Let me see if I can play this, because it's not on YouTube, but it is through YouTube, so I don't know. Let me see if it'll let me play it. I can't stand you. Like, that's some serious dislike right there to have within a group. And we know them outside forces she's talking. So Kandi slapped Tiny when she was pregnant. Tiny and Candy had a slap fest when Tiny was pregnant. That is crazy. That is crazy to me. I want to know what happened with that.
Did have a little slap here and there, as well.
That's the tea, child. Candy and Tasha had a fist fight. Did y'all know that? Ooh, wee. Is all about, I think. That's what this, is all about. The biopic, however you want to say it. They have a biopic or biopic on the way. Now, if you recall Candy fighting with Carlos King, I think that's his name. He produces some reality shows. And supposedly she said he scooped their story and is making the biopic on his own without them. So there's a whole thing about that. So I don't know what's going on, but they say here that an Escape biopic is on the way. It says in 2017, it was announced, a product developed by all 4 original members. The project is still in the works and is set to hit Bravo, though no official release date has been given in 2019. Tiny said it's possible they'll re-record some of their old songs for the film and add some new music. And she said she would love for her daughter Zonique to play her. I don't know, Tiny. It says Escape partnered up with Mona Scott Young's Monomy Entertainment for the biopic, which is the only authorized version from the group. And keep in mind, Mona Scott Young, and she's the producer of the Love and Hip Hop shows. She's the one who's behind this reality show as well. So what this all tells me is this is just a precursor to the biopic or the biopic. What a better way to get your audience hooked in to watch that biopic. Okay? She said, wait till you get to biopic to find out who won that fight. So we're going to see fist fights. We're going to see scamming and frauding on the side. We're going to see Rocky doing his thing. We're going to see LaTocha bullied, probably from childhood. They're going to should go from, because they were teenagers, right? When they linked up as a group. So they're probably going to show things, behind at the houses, what was going on at their homes at the time and things like that. If, it was going to be a good show. You don't think Tiny would be slapping somebody? I know Tiny seems sweet, queen, but don't let her fool you. She ain't with T.I. for no reason now. You got to, she can probably go head toe to toe with T.I. too. I didn't know about LaTocha and Candy's fist fight. I wasn't really into Escape like that, to be honest. And I've not ever really been a fan of Candy. I will say that I probably like her much better today, and maybe because of the show. But prior to this, it's like Real Housewives. I'm like, no. Like, I know she's about her coin, all that. But personality-wise, and and she did come out and say, I'm not sure if it was on the show, maybe it was in an interview, but she said that, she's not much of a communicator. She doesn't really talk. She internalizes everything. And that might be why I had this feeling about her, because I'm about truth and just, and she says she's the opposite of that. So, and that's her prerogative. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to see what's going to happen next week with regard to this whole Rocky getting kickbacks and all that, because it sounds like this thing didn't get resolved based on what's happening today. So like I said, this was filmed last summer. So, and they've been, performing without LaTocha. And LaTocha probably was like, I don't give a fuck because I got my gospel album coming out and I'm about to do all of that. And guess what? Girl, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. So I don't know what LaTocha is going to do, because this show has really put a big stain on her reputation, as well as her gospel career that she thought she was going to have. Like, so what's she going to do? She can't go back to Escape after this. Nobody wants to see it, and hopefully they don't want it either. I did hear Tiny and Candy, or it was more so Candy, saying for people to go buy LaTocha's album, her gospel album, after her speak on it last night. But girl, ain't nobody trying to do that. I mean, there are people who feel sorry for LaTocha just because they feel they feel like she's being ganged up on. I don't think you can say that someone is being ganged up on when they're being confronted about things done to these people. Like, it's not being ganged up on, it's being held accountable is what it is. And like I said, usually people who defend this type of stuff are just like these people. So again, I have a member only live. Come into the Goddess Lounge and let's talk about these YouTube streets. If you missed what I'm meant about what's going on in these YouTube streets and some of the other stuff that we talked about today, go back into the replay. Yeah, and let me know your thoughts on these things, child. Come back into the comments and let me know. I will respond, child. I'm going to talk to you. Somebody also commented to me on another post having to do with Tory Lanez, that some tea was spilled on Tory Lanez and why previous lawyer Sean Hawley left him, because he lost his lawyer David Kenner, who was that infamous Suge Knight lawyer. He gone too. So as his appeal process begins, because it's been filed, there's going to be some interesting tea on all that too. So anyway, somebody commented that they had the motion. They were going to email it to me. So if this person is listening, send me that email. I'm looking for it. But on that note, y'all, I'm out of here. You guys enjoy your Monday and the rest of your week. I don't know when I'll be back, but until then, I'll be back tomorrow. My bad. In the member channel, though. So make sure you join the channel. It's $1.99 a month. You know what I'm saying? Just something to keep the haters out. Because I know if you hating on me, you ain't going to pay not even a penny. I would hope you wouldn't. I mean, unless you're just obsessed with me. I mean, child. But anyway, it's just a little paywall to, keep my true supporters where they need to be. So I could talk about the real diggities on some stuff. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow morning. So let's do that. I'll see you then. Peace.